Well, so the Rachel Zegler big time hit Y2K came out over the weekend, and I'm gonna be honest, this movie was so big time that I forgot it even existed. I forgot all about it even having a release date, let alone, yeah, like I just said, its existence. So, did it do good? Did it do bad? Did it make a complete flop? Well, let's see here. If I pop my browser back on here, oh, I gotta make myself smaller, don't I? Well, let's shrink my happy ass down. Oh, look, I'm over here. I'm so tiny now. Anyway, okay. Apparently, it didn't do that good. So, Rachel Zegler's, and I think I spelled it wrong on the thing, didn't I? Oh, well, whatever. I'll have to update that when I finally get things done. How to spell her name. So anyway, her Y2K movie, which, let's be honest, if you watch the trailer, it didn't look all that exciting anyway. I mean, it looked like something that could have came out in 2004, 2005, and maybe would have done okay. But I'm rambling because I did not script this. I am just going off the cuff. This her Y2K movie bombed at the box office following Snow White Backlash. Yes, because nobody wants to see her. Wow, so move my happy ass while I'm out of the way. No one wants to see her as Snow White. Maybe if she would have kept her mouth shut and not called Snow White, I don't know, weird, and things of that nature, not told half of her audience that we're probably willing to go at least try out her movies, bad, and she doesn't need your business if you voted for the wrong person. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Anyway, moving on. Rachel Zegler's latest film, Y2K, is crashing and burning at the box office. Probably would have reworded that differently, but okay. Looking to open to a lackluster 2.1 million, hopefully, and earning a dismal C+ cinema score, which is horrible. Yeah, that's dog shit. And this is an A24 movie. A24 movies typically, have very low budgets, right? They don't typically have 30, 40, 50, $100 million, $200 million budgets. You don't normally have to make more than $10 million in its first weekend or 5 to 10, I'd say, in the first weekend to really kind of start a snowball to where they'll at least either make a bunch of profit off the movie or they'll make just enough to cover it and call it a wash. But let's see here. The A24 horror comedy, holy hell, directed by Kyle Mooney, is far from a hit for the studio likely had hoped, especially with a low budget of under $15 million. And that is the reported budget. Oh my God, look here, we're at the numbers say that the movie made $2,113,923 over the weekend. And that is per, where's the math at? Here we go. 2,108 theaters. So 2,108 theaters are carrying this movie, and it barely broke the $2 million mark. Now, my question is, though, are people not watching this because of Rachel Zegler, or are they not watching it because they just think the movie's going to be complete crap? Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. I think some people thought, you know what, that's that Rachel Zegler chick. I've seen a lot on her, and even the normies, the people who don't really pay attention, have probably come across her saying something stupid and went, or they said, you know what, I saw that West Side Story movie. She was shit in that, and I'm not willing to give her another chance and watch it again. So we're just going to not do that. I imagine that's probably a lot of where some of that came from. And people are also, they're out of the habit of going to the theater. I don't think that they're ever going to get people back in the habit of going to the theater. I can only speak for myself and the people I know. But I used to go to a movie every weekend. I didn't care what was playing. I love movies, video games, anime. You know, all those nerdy things that apparently they aren't important anymore. but they still want to the ideology and messaging into, because that's the best and fastest way to spread, well, your message. Whether that be one that people agree with or not, that's completely different, right? Anyway, moving on. So let's see here. The government offers lifeline to Snow White as Disney remake fate revealed. That's not just revealed, but how do we know it's revealed, though? This is like they're already saying that, hey, we know that your movie is going to be a complete and utter clusterfuck. So we're not even going to pretend that this shit's gonna be good. We're not even going to pretend that in any way, shape, or form people are gonna want to watch this crap. I'm sorry, but when you make fucking Snow White look like Lord Farquaad here, I'm pretty sure people are gonna be upset. I'm pretty sure when you take the main character of a movie or a story, as they have done so many numerous times, and race swap them, people are going to be a little upset. They're going to be a little estranged. And then when that star or that actress or whatever you want to call her comes out and says that the story was weird and the prince was a stalker, instead of coming out and doing like she should have, coming out and going, you know, it's a classic story. I know I'm not exactly the skin tone that you think I should be with this character, and I get that, I understand that, but I really do love this movie, and it would be, and it is, not would be, it is a great honor to play such an iconic character, to be part of the team that gets to bring you this story again in the modern age with updated visuals. And, you know, so on and so on. But that's not what she did. She came out and called everything gross and weird and, you know, things of that nature. And then somebody had a talking to her, and she turned around and went, oh, no, I've always loved these stories. Always, 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 always. I've always loved them. Always, always, always. I've never disliked them at all. These have always been the greatest things ever, and Snow White will forever be just the most wonderful thing. And then what happens? He turns around, goes right back to the original thing of this is weird, blah, blah, blah. Oh, let's see here. After a stellar return to form this year with Inside Out 2 and Deadpool Wolverine breaking the $1 billion barrier. I'm sorry, what is this? InsideTheMagic.net? Of course it is. I don't think I would call a stellar return to form being two movies that were... Well, one, Deadpool Wolverine being highly anticipated, and Inside Out 2, basically, as far as I remember, I did see and read stories about them being told to take out their woke agenda bullshit, and wow, they took out the bullshit, and all of a sudden it became a good movie. And it was a good movie. I liked it very much so. Deadpool Wolverine, of course it was a good movie. Violence, stabbing, what's not to love? And Moana 2, yes, Moana 2 I haven't seen yet, but I've seen or heard that it's pretty much just a Disney series with subpar animation put on the big screen. On its way to joining them next year's Looking Tricky for the House of Mouse in February. The troubled Captain America. No, they have this wrong. It's Captain African America. Get it right, folks. If you're gonna make Sam Wilson the El Capitan, although I would argue it should be Bucky, and they more or less, hey, said during the Captain America movies before, Bucky was the next guy coming, but, you know, moving on. Brave New World 2025, if it actually comes out, because it's on what, like the 9,000th reshoot or re-editing or rehashing or whatever you want to call it, will hit screens before Disney's Snow White. Yes, and both are going to, they're going to be OMB bomb. Much discussion, live action remake from Mark Webb launches in So what is the government gonna do? Animated bloated cost? Yeah, Disney's gonna have to what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, recoup. It's right there in front of my face. It's bloated production cost. Yes, because instead of just making a Snow White movie, they attempted to make a political messaging, something or other type movie, feminism bullshit, yada yada yada, that people didn't want in the first place. And then when they got backlash for it, they quickly-ish tried to change course. And I've tried to change course on this movie so many times. And of course, one of the biggest obstacles that Disney has is its own stars, its own people in the movies. Holy shit. What is the government saying is going to help? Yes, okay, so Walt Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937. Oh my god, I'm so old. Revolutionized animation and filmmaking. It did. It was just one of the most awesome. Like, when I was a kid, I couldn't believe how smooth the animation was being hand-drawn. And it's still some of the most top-tier hand-drawn animation you will ever find. It just is. But let's see here. Oh yes, there are the dwarves. Hey, we like those, right? We like those CGI monstrosities, right? You know, remembering that for some reason Peter Dinklage decided to kick the tiny step stool off from underneath of him when he finally climbed on top of the first stair up the ladder stairs or whatever, because he had gotten his bag, he got his money. But he thought that if they were going to cast actual people with dwarfism, or I don't know what the proper word, mini-humans, I don't fucking know, and I don't really care either, but because he got his bag, no one else should be able to, pretty much, and kick the ladder up underneath of him, telling people names if they, gave somebody a job? That sounds like a real good guy, right? So then Disney goes, you know what? Fine. We don't want anybody, we don't want any crap, so we won't hire actual dwarf people. A bunch of, well, you know, can I find it on here? Snow White movie 2025 Dwarves Controversy. Is that gonna be it? Where is, because I know, there we go. Boom, that there. That's what they replaced. Can I, boom, make it bigger? No. Oh, no. I have no idea how to do this. Open in a new tab. Is that it? Boom. There we go. That'll work. That is what they replaced the dwarves with. But they have the one dude, and he's just like, it's like the diversity quota from Rings of Power. That's what they went for. And then when they got the complete opposite reaction that they were hoping to get, like, I don't know, being told that this is bullshit, they went to the CGI dwarves. Which, I mean, yeah, I guess if they're gonna go to CGI dwarves, they should have probably just done that in the first fucking place, right? Or just hired, you know, the actual dwarf actors that exist. But anyway, this is why I script a lot of videos, because if I don't, I ramble like a crazy person. I don't know, maybe that's what you guys would rather have. Maybe you'd rather have me ramble like a crazy person. Let me know in the comments below. And, you know, hit the like button and share and subscribe and all of those fun things. So let's see here. Zegler, the Latina, did you love how they say she's just Latina and not the fact that she's a 50-50? She's a mutt. She's both. She's Latina and a white person too. But I don't think this is, are they gonna say what exactly the government is supposed to be doing here? So are we not getting a, hey, this is what the government is doing? No, of course not. It doesn't look like it. Well, you know, let's do some math right quick here. Okay, let's go. The numbers. We'll pop Snow White in here. Can we see what its financials are? Not yet. Okay. Well, how about we go back to our friend Mr. Google. Boom. I'll go Snow White budget. Snow White 2025 budget. I like how one of the things is canceled. The budget. What was the budget so far for this movie? At least the guesstimation on this. But what does Forbes say? Oh, that was bright. Let's get rid of that. Put that. There we go. Dark mode. No, I don't want to subscribe or nothing. How Disney save $55.5 million on Snow White remake? Yeah, how did they do that when they've spent so much time and money redoing this? Anyway, no, I just want the numbers. This isn't. Oh, okay. So here's how they're doing it as far as, what am I thinking of? What government things will help them, okay? It's because they're getting a pre-tax loss discount, more or less, because they're already being able to say, we know this money in the UK is not going to make any, I know this movie, sorry, in the UK isn't going to make any money, so we are basically just going to claim it as a loss and still release it. But, and I don't believe, oh, see, this is pounds, okay. These are all pounds. So, and I don't know what this is in US dollars. I know it's like 1.5 times. The US would be 1.5 times what this is, so 40. But this doesn't look to me like it's going to be a giant thing. And for some reason, these are just the UK numbers. I want to see the entirety of the budget, which I guess will probably come out either just before or just after, right, the movie releases. But my like I was saying, my big question though is, does she make a difference whatsoever on whether you were gonna see the movie or not? That's my big question. Does she make a lick of difference? Do you care at all? Or are we just not going to see it because you think it's probably going to be trash, right? I mean, honestly, that's about where I sit.